All right, welcome to Habits Unplugged. Let's talk about some of the early signs to watch out for when you might have damage to your liver from drinking alcohol. If you don't know me, I'm Kevin O'Hara. I own habitsv2.com. We coach people to quickly stop drinking and tap into their potential for growth instead of tapping out with alcohol. So before we get onto the 7 warning signs, I just want to say to you that your body is not designed to drink lots of alcohol, right? We're designed to eliminate some of the naturally occurring alcohol that's in your system, right? And we do that very well. Also, your body is an incredible tool, right? Your body has got these incredible abilities to overcome these things. So that's why I was able to drink for over 30 years with not loads of damage, but some damage. So anyway, let's get on to the 7 early warning signs first, and I'll come back at the end with some thoughts. Number 1 is tiredness. It's one of the most common and early symptoms, and tiredness can be severe, it can be persistent, it can come along with feelings of weakness and just generally feeling unwell. Second one is loss of appetite. And with that loss of appetite comes you've got a decreased desire to eat food, obviously, and that can lead to unintended weight loss and malnutrition. Number 3 is nausea and vomiting. This is one of the most common symptoms that can be accompanied by just a general pain in the abdomen, particularly up here in the upper right hand side under your ribs. Number 4 is jaundice. I think everyone knows this. It's basically the yellowing of the eyes and skin, and it happens because the liver's finding it very difficult to process bilirubin, which is a byproduct of your red blood cells. Number 5 is small spider-like blood vessels become invisible underneath your skin, and usually in the face and the neck and the chest, and they're called spider angiomas. I think that's how you pronounce it. Number 6 is bruising and bleeding very easily. Your liver produces proteins that are necessary for blood clotting, and like everything else, when the liver is damaged, it finds it very difficult to do these things. I mean, think about the liver as having to it's responsible for over 200 different processes within your body, and when it has to get rid of alcohol from your system, when it has to metabolize the alcohol, it stops all of these other things, or most of these other things. So and the damaged liver is just not able to do a lot of these things. So that when the liver is damaged and these proteins are reduced, it can lead to bruising and bleeding very easily. Number 7 is swelling of the abdomen and legs, and this is mainly from fluid retention. In the case of cirrhotic liver, this is because your damaged liver can't produce enough of this thing called albumin. This is another protein that helps prevent fluid from leaking out through the blood vessels. Right, so that's the 7 things. Now, a couple of things I wanted to add here. All of these conditions can happen in healthy people, right? So they're not necessarily signs that your liver is damaged. But if you're spotting any of these things, or you've got any of these things in conjunction with each other, if you've got 2 or 3 of these symptoms, then going down and having a word with your doctor is kind of a wise thing to do, right? The second thing is that most liver damage is either repairable or it's manageable. If you catch this in the early stages, it's always going to be repairable. The liver is an extraordinary organ which has the capacity to repair itself. I mean, you can chop a liver in half and it will, under the right conditions, grow into 2 separate livers, right? So even when part of the liver is beyond repair, in the case of cirrhotic scarring, then you can live a perfectly normal life providing you manage the damage. You manage a few things about this, right? So we're all into self-help here, and we're all into trying to help you to do the right thing for yourself, right? All preventative stuff. So I want to just give you a few things that you can do for yourself, right? First thing is stop drinking alcohol, right? No more booze as soon as possible, right? Alcohol has no place in your body. Your body doesn't appreciate it. Your body treats it as a toxin, and it's just going to screw you up. So also stop smoking and taking other drugs if you're doing that, right? These are all toxins that your liver has has got to deal with, right, in the long stretch, right? So stop these things. Don't stop one at a time. The most important thing is to get the alcohol out of your system, right? Number 2 is to get rid of processed foods and eat a whole foods diet. That means anything you recognize as a food. I'm not going to the extremes here saying you have to be a vegan or you have to go the opposite way and become a carnivore, right? But, be sensible with it. You eat foods that you recognize as foods. Avoid sugar and flour. I mean, your liver treats these things almost identically, right, to alcohol, right? So avoid processed foods as much as possible, right? And number 3, I know this is not possible for a lot of people, right? It is possible, but it's not possible in the short term. But in the long term, you can factor this in. And that's to get out of cities where there's a lot of smog, a lot of pollutants, right? I'm not telling you to be mental at these things, right? Just do it within reason. From a personal perspective, I've got slight scarring on my liver, so early stages. I drank a lot of alcohol over those 30 years, so I think to myself, how the hell is there not more damage, right? Not how can there not be damage, but how the hell is there not more damage? And not only to the liver, but where the alcohol flows, the damage goes. So I didn't get myself checked out when I first started this journey because I thought, well, the damage is done. I don't have money to go to a doctor, so I didn't go. I thought if I stopped drinking alcohol and it changed a lot of the other stuff in my life, then, I'm going to be fine. And that proved to be the case, right? It wasn't that I was getting any of these symptoms. I was certainly getting the symptoms of tiredness and anxiety, all the bad symptoms from drinking alcohol, but a lot of those disappeared as soon as I stopped, right? So I only got myself checked out through my family doctor very recently, a couple of years ago. And it wasn't deliberately, it was just as part of an overall checkup. And they found, slight scarring, but that's just it, right? I stopped drinking 11 years ago and I've just never looked back. And I do my best to look after myself. I'm no angel by any stretch of the imagination. I have times when I indulge myself, and when I do indulge myself, it's with cakes and not so much sweets, but biscuits, cakes, that kind of stuff, right? But a couple of days after I've done this kind of stuff, if I eat a pizza and some cakes and whatever, I eat some junky food, I notice it, right? I know my body's become much more sensitive with these things, so after a couple of days I have to stop. I think about these things as my early warning system, so I'm happy with that. When you don't have alcohol numbing you anymore, you get a lot more, your body just gets a lot more sensitive to how many other things in your life are affecting you, affecting your health, affecting your the way that you're thinking, your clarity of thoughts, all that kind of stuff. So, and we want that, right? We want to have that that sensitivity. Your body is built to be sensitive to tell you these things about yourself. So, we don't want to be hiding our heads in the sand like the lanky ostrich, right? So anyway, look, that's my take on this. I wish you the best of luck. Stop the booze above all. It's going to do wonders for you, for your life, for your relationships, for your overall health and for your wealth. And I'm not just talking about your wealth in your bank account. I'm talking about things in terms of abundance, right? So let's cover, first we covered 7 early warning signs of liver damage, including tiredness, loss of appetite, yellowing of skin. Then we talked about if you notice these signs, go talk to your doctor. But remember, they can happen to healthy people too, so don't be too worried about these things, right? Like I said, best thing you can do, go talk to your doctor. The third thing was you can do your liver a great favor by stopping drinking completely, and then eat a healthy diet, avoid pollution as much as you can. Don't be mental about it, just think about what can I do now, what can I do in the future, what can I plan into my future. We're not just quitting alcohol just to help the liver, right? I'm not asking you to do that. We're quitting alcohol to live a healthy, happy, prosperous life. I'm Kevin O'Hara for habitsv2.com. Keep the alcohol out of your mouth, onwards and upwards. Bye now.